the time has come to introduce our guest for tonight. It's Women's Month and let us celebrate women. Welcome to today's episode, The Feminine Genius Meets the Servant Leader, with the theme, How Service to People Becomes a Way of Life for a Woman. This is Late Night with Dr. Ria Liza featuring Up Close and Personal with Chairwoman Marisa Libora Sanvictores Papa. Of course, the chairwoman of my barangay, of our barangay, Barangay 605 Santa Mesa. Marisa Papa is on her 8 terms barangay chairmanship from 1989 to present, 30 years as of 2022, a graduate of Entrepreneurship at the University of Santo Tomas. She is also into interior designing. In fact, she took interior design at the Philippine School of Interior Designing. And lately ko lang nalaman that she is a designer for special clothes such as wedding entourage. Also designs stone and shell crafted furnitures and as well as design cabinets. A mother, a punong barangay, a servant leader, a friend, a God's creation. Let us give our virtual applause to the empowered of Barangay 605, Chairwoman Marisa Papa. Ayan. I will put you on the center muna, ma'am. Ayan. Medyo naglo-load yata yung internet ni... Ayan, magpasok tayo ng iba. Ayan. Hello, Chairwoman.
Hi, Professor, Dr. Ria. It's
Good
really
evening sa
a big
iyo.
deal, and
Good evening.
I'm so happy to be here because it's Women's Month. Good evening,
po.
everyone.
Yeah, you're so beautiful as
Good
always.
evening.
Good evening po. Ang ganda ni ma'am.
Ang ganda, di ba? Parang Espanyola na,
It's like,
ano, Latina. Okay, ma'am, iiwan ka na muna namin dyan and the viewers are actually very excited to hear your story. So, the virtual floor is
we're kind of like choppy. We can't, can you hear me?
okay naman, ma'am, okay.
Good evening. Can I start now? Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, my name or my registered birth name is Lourdes Marisa Libora Sanvictores Papa. Married to a Tan and also for my second husband, Alichauco. I was born July 23, 1956, and right now I'm 65 years old. Raised by my loving parents, Felipe Neri Tolentino Papa and Clarita Madrid Sanvictores, I am the second from the eldest from a brood of 5 children. What I can say is somehow God planned my life. Let me tell you about my roller coaster life. The downs and the ups, the goods and the bads. Not everything is rosy, but a lot of it is victorious. Always believing that everything happens for a reason and purpose because I know that God planned my life. In the end, everything will be good because God is good. To start with, I grew up in a family business atmosphere. where my parents and the sister of my dad, Tita Rosa, then manufactured Papa banana ketchup. Fresh from Sabah bananas and all natural ingredients were used. They exported other food products, bottled pickled papaya, shrimp paste like bagoong, chili, sauces, and all other things that they can export. But one thing is, they only offered what is best and what is healthiest. So I grew up to have that in mind. Always the best for other people. What is good for other people. No artificial preservatives. The only thing that we used then or they used then were salt, sugar, and vinegar. That was Papa Ketchup and the other products under the brand name Papa. Using Papa Ketchup before, that condiment is like having your daily dose of potassium nutrient dose because it's coming from fresh bananas. So that is the atmosphere where I grew up. Let me tell you about my childhood. My childhood days were memorable. It was full of care and pampering. I remember in 1963 when my parents went to Japan for like a month. We were left in Manila, but we were so surprised that there was a container van parking right in front of the house full of toys and things for us children. Yes, in a container van. So after they unloaded everything, our house looked like a department store. Well, I'm lucky to have awesome parents. Mom and dad were all the time there to help us, to rear us, and to really make our lives happy. I thank God for my parents. On Sundays, we spend, the first thing we do is spend our time inside church. We hear Mass every Sunday religiously. And then after the Mass, we're off to our picnics, we are off to our trips, and we go shopping. Mom and dad were always with us. So that's how I grew up. And what's important is demeanor in our family. Even if we were showered with love, care, and pampering, we were disciplined. A nod may mean yes, you may say something or greet our visitor, and a stare, sometimes stern stare, means you can get out, you can go back to your room, or you're not supposed to be here. Demeanor is important in our family, especially when having our meals and acting in front of VIPs and guests. This includes our appearance too, proper dressing, proper attire, and most especially, our proper conduct. As a child, I was quiet, timid, shy, and sometimes nervous. Um, I do not participate in oral recitation even if I know the answer in school. I do not play during recess or lunchtime. I was kind of introvert in a sense and usually take the back seat in any occasion. I just watch people. I would intently look and listen if they argue or quarrel, but I never gave my opinion as to who was right or wrong. I simply just watch people. In school dramas and plays, they would always choose me as Angel because there's no line to say. I will just only be there. And every year up to grade 4, I will be attending or they will get me as the angel of San Miguel Arcangel procession at the Adamson University. That I cannot forget. Even the Spanish song, I still memorize it. So as long as there were no speaking lines, I would join the part and accept it. I am mentioning this because somehow there is a 180 degrees turn. Before, I don't like talks. Now, I have no choice. I am now full of speaking lines. So, people around me in the 1960s, I was surrounded by diverse kinds of people. From the house, of course, parents, siblings, lolas, we have extended families, we have our nannies. Each and every kid, the five of us, we had nannies and the drivers. We had our employees and workers. Really different people. We have to face also the visitors of my dad. Some are VIPs, some are foreigners because they're talking to exporters. And the funny thing was, every time we have to be with them, and if they are Japanese, we have to wear our Japanese costume. If they are Filipinos, then we have to wear our Filipiniana. And if they were like English speaking people, we're dressed up in our English attire. It was really fun, but that time we didn't know what it was. It was just fun for all of us. The diverse people in my life, practically and unknowingly, started to mold me to be a social being, where I learned how to read people's demeanor and even understand their varied personalities, as how I learned from my parents. Um, just listening and understanding were my baselines. Maybe because